Hello everyone. In this tutorial, you will learn about while loops in Python. So let's start. In our day-to-day life, we repeat tasks. For example, we repeat paying electricity bill every month, paying our credit card bills, or telephone bills, etc. Now, this kind of repetition is also called as iteration. Now, the repetition of a set of statements in a program is made possible using looping constructs. Looping constructs provide the facility to execute a set of statements in a program repetitively based on a condition. This statement in a loop are executed again and again as long as particular logical condition remains true. This condition is checked through a variable called control variable. When the condition becomes false, the loop terminates. It is the responsibility of the programmer basically to ensure that this condition eventually becomes false. That is, there is an exit condition and the loop does not continue endlessly. If you see this example as it is shown here also, a loop statement allows us to execute a statement or a group of statements multiple times. Now, if we want to repeat any particular block of statements or a particular single statement to execute again and again and again, then in that purpose, loops are used. Python programming language provides two types of loop to handle looping requirements. First is while loop and second one is for loop. Now the while loop are also called indefinite loops because the statements are executed until a logical condition remains true. But for loop are called as definite loops because statements are executed for a definite number of times. Now let's understand while loop in detail. A while loop statement repeatedly executes a block of statements until a logical condition remains true. While loop are also called indefinite loop because it is not known in advance how many times the loop is going to be executed. As you see in this flowchart, this is the working of while loop. While condition or any expression, then the code, conditional code get executed or statements get executed. Now initially the condition is to be checked. If this condition is true, then the conditional codes or the statements given below gets executed. Again, the condition will be checked. The control will move from after executing these statements. The control will jump to the condition and check condition again. If still this condition is true, again these block of codes executed. Again it will check condition. This is called as loop. This concept to repeat a specific task or to execute a block of statements again and again. When this condition becomes false, then the control will move out of this part, this looping part. That means the loop is terminated and the control will move out. Now let's understand the syntax of while loop. While, here we can give condition, then colon and statements. Statements here. So while given condition or any expression, if this condition is true, then the statements given below gets executed. After executing these statements, again condition will be checked. Again if it is true, statements get executed. Again condition will be checked. If it is true, then statements get executed. So this loop will continue. When this condition becomes false, then the loop is terminated and control will move out from the loop. When the given condition is false, when this condition becomes false, program control passes to the line immediately follow the loop. In while loop we can also write else part, but remember it is optional. Else part and it is optional here. Else and then statements. statements. So after terminating this loop, next statement gets executed, which is present outside the loop part, and we can also add else in the while loop, but it is the optional part. Let's see the practical example. Let's take one variable letter and store string. Let's say we have stored Python in it. Letter is equals to Python. Let's take one more variable num, and initial value is 0. Then we can apply while loop here. While the value of num less than len of this string letter colon, indented statement is print this index, value present at this index, and increment, that is num plus equals to 1. Now let's execute this code. If I press F5, we get this output, that P, Y, T, H, O, and N. How this output is generated, let's understand this code. Now we have stored Python string in this variable, and how many characters, how many alphabets are present in it? 6 characters are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The initial value of num is 0. Now while the value of num is less than len of this string. Now len, we have already done. This is an inbuilt function that counts the number of alphabet present in this string. So it will return 6. That means the condition will become num less than 6. So if this condition is true, these statements get executed. So the value of num, initial value is 0. 0 is less than 6, true. So it will print in this variable the alphabet that is present at this location, that is at 0 location. So as we have already done indexing, here the indexing starts with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So as you see here, in this variable at this location, so what is the value of num? 0. So at 0 location, what is the alphabet present? P. So print letter num. So we get P here. The value of num is incremented by 1. This also we have done earlier. How we can write this? This can also be written as num is equals to num plus 1. Add 1 in the value that is stored in num variable, and again store the result in num. So after incrementing 1, the value of num becomes 1. Initially it is 0. 0 plus 1, that is 1. Now again check condition. 1 is less than 6. Yes, it is true. Now this time 1 at index 1. Index 1, y is present, so y gets printed on the screen. Again incremented by 1, the value of num becomes 2. Again check condition, 2 is less than 6. Yes, it is true. Now in this string at index 2, t is present, so t gets printed on the screen. We get t here. Again incremented by 1, the value of num becomes 3. Check condition, 3 less than 6. Yes, it is true. 3 is less than 6. So in this letter at index 3, h is present, so we get h here. Again incremented by 1, the value of num becomes 4. 4 is less than 6. Yes, it is true. So the character present at index 4, that is O. We get O here. Again incremented by 1, the value of num becomes 5. 5 less than 6. Yes, it is true. In this variable, value present at index 5, that is n. So we get n here. Again it is incremented by 1. Now what is the value of num? The value of num becomes 6. Now check condition, 6 less than 6. Now it is not true. If it is not true, then these statements will not get executed. The loop will terminate it. Once loop is terminated, we get the result on the screen. This P, Y, T, H, N. Let's understand while loop with one more practical example. Let's take one variable, I is equals to 1, by condition while I less than equals to 5, we can write print I and increment I is equals to I plus 1, and finally print done. Now as you see, we have taken one variable I and initial value of I is 1, then check condition while I less than equals to 5. First line I is equals to 1, the second line we can check the value of I is less than 5 or not, yet it is true. 1 is less than 5, so we can print I. So let's execute this code. So we get this output 1. So because the value of I is less than 5, it is true. So value of I, that is 1, get on the screen. We get 1. Value of I is incremented by 1. Value of I become 2. Again it will check condition. 2 less than 5 equals to 5. Yes, it is true. Again the value of I, that is 2, we get 2 here. Again value of I is incremented by 1, value of I become 3. 3 less than 5, true, we get 3 here. So this code is executed every time till the condition is true. But when I becomes 6, 6 is not equals to 5, so this condition is false and the loop is terminated. When this loop is terminated, these statements are not get executed and we get the final statement that is done. So we get this. Let's understand while loop with another example. If we want this output on the screen, then what will be the code? Let's see the code for this example. In the same code, we can write @ inside double quotes and with asterisk sign multiplied by value of I. So if we execute this code, press F5, so we get this result on the screen. It means the value of I is 1 initially, condition is true, I less than 5, print @1 time, value of I is 1. So we get 1 on the screen. Value of I is incremented by 1, value of I become 2. Again check condition, condition is true, I less than 5, it is true. It will print @2 times because the value of I is 2. We get 2 here, then I become 3. Again check condition, condition remains true again. Print @3 times. We get 3 value of I become 4. Condition again true. We'll check condition and print @4 times. So we get 4 value of I become 5. Again it will check condition and I is not less than 5, but I is equals to 5 because here we have used two conditions. Either the value of I is less than 5 or equals to 5. So value of I is equals to 5, it is true. Get @5 times. It will print @5 times. So we get 5 on the screen. Again the value of I is incremented by 1. The value of I becomes 6. Now in this time when the condition will be checked, 6 is not less than 5, not equals to 5. So this condition is false, loop is terminated and final statement gets printed on the screen. We get done. Let's solve another practical example. We will make one basic car game using while loop that will accept command from the user. Let's execute this code. So when user execute this program, it will accept command. So if user has given command start, it will show car started. When user type stop, we get car stop. When user type help command, we get the following help option, that is type start to start the car, type stop to stop the car, and type quit to move out from the code. So if user type this command quit, the program execution stop and user will move out from that code. So let's solve this problem. Let's make a basic game using while loop. Let's see the code for this. Let's solve this example now and you will understand while loop more deeply using this example. So let's take one variable, this command we have taken, then another variable started is equals to, now we have taken false. Initially the car is in stop condition, started is equals to false, and start our loop, that is while true. So we have used Boolean data type here. While true means till the condition is true, the program will be executed, this code will be executed. So while true, command is equals to accept input command, and we'll call one function here, that is lower, that we have used earlier also. And then if we type if command equals to start, the user has given this command start, then what will be the action? If started, if it is already started, then what we have to check? Already started, we can print car is already started. Simply we can print this statement on the screen. Else started is equals to, you can type true, and simply we can print car started. Then if user has given command equals stop, if user want to stop the car, if this is the command colon, the next line again we can check that if not started, simply print car is already stopped, close it. And else we can simply check whether the started is equals to false, then we can simply print or stop. If command user has given is help, user need help, then we can print the following help option, that is use triple quote here and type start, that is to start car, and stop to stop the car, and quit to quit, and close triple quotes, close bracket. Then elif, one more elif we can use, that means command equals to quit. This is the command, then immediately apply break, stop that execution of the code. And finally else part, else if user has given wrong command, right, sorry, please enter correct command, and close it. Now let's execute and understand this code line by line. I have already written this code. Let's see the output. If we execute this code, so it requires commands which we have given start. We get car started. If we give command stop, shows car stop. We type help command, so the following helping options: use start the car, stop the car, and quit. Type quit, program execution stop. Let's understand code line by line. We have used one variable here, command, that will accept the command from the user. Then started another variable, and initially it is false. What does it mean? That means initially the car is at stop position. It is in the stop state. So if initially you type stop command, what it will show? It will just show that it is already stopped. Car is already stopped. Because initially it is in the stop state. Started is equals to false. Loop starts, and we check that if user has given the command stop. If you have given command stop and if not started earlier, we have used this not operator. If it is not already started, that means it's already in the stop state. Let's execute and check. If we type stop initially, and we get car is already stopped because initially it is in the stop state. So that's why we have given this variable false. Started is equals to false. Now start the loop while condition remains true. While true, we accept command input, and this lower function will convert the input command by the user in the lower case. So instead of using command again and again, wherever we are accepting commands, we are accepting command if, elif, and elif again. So here we need to call lower function again and again. So instead of calling this function, lower function again and again, we have called here only that whenever user has given command, whenever we are accepting command from the user, convert that command directly into lower case. And then execution begins if user has given command start. So what we have to do? We have to first check if started. That means if it is already started, so what we have to print? Car is already started. If you have already started, if it is started, then this statement will print. But if it is not already started, so else part get executed. That means if started is equals to true, print car started. It will show that car has started. So this is the first condition. User has given this command. Elif, if user has given the command to stop. Now, like we have just understood this concept, if user has given this command stop, so we need to check it that if not started, because if the car has not started, that means it is already in the stop condition. So check that if not started, print car has already stopped. But if started is equals to false, we need to then print car stopped. Second condition, elif, third time, elif command is equals to help. User has typed command help. User need help. Print this multiple lines, multiple statements. So we have used triple quotes here, triple quote for ending and for closing, start, stop, and quit. Next, elif command is equals to quit. If user wants to move out from the code and stop the execution of the program, so if user has given quit command, so we need to break execution immediately. There is no need to execute any other condition after that, any other statement after that. So break is a keyword that we have used here, that is applied when we want to immediately stop the execution of the program, no matter in which state we are in. If we are using loop, if we are using else if condition, whatever condition we are using, whatever logic we are using in the program, if we have used break keyword, it will immediately break the execution of the program and move out of the code. And the last, else, that means if none of the given condition is satisfied, if user has not given start, if user has not given stop, if user has not given help command, that means user has given something else. So in that case, for all other conditions, this statement gets printed on the screen that please enter correct command. Let's execute this one more time. Let's execute it. Let's give command ABC. ABC, that means we have not given command to start, we have not given command to stop, we have not given command to need help. ABC is something else. When you execute this code, it will display sorry, please enter correct command. ABC is not the correct command that we have mentioned in our program. Let's execute it one more time. Now this time we have given start. Car has started. But if you give again this command, if you type start again, so it will show car is already started. That means there is no need to start car 2 times. So that is why we have given multiple conditions inside our program, inside our loop. See here, just see here, we have given command is equal to start. If started, if already started, so car is already started. So that is the output that we have got. If started already, car is already started. So that's why multiple conditions we have used here. If started, when car is already started, but if not, that's true, and print car started. If you type started only once, first time, it will show car started, and then if you type stop, it will show car stop. If already started, then it shows it is stop. And for help, all the helping commands. And quit, it will break. For any other options, it will print that it is not the correct option. Please enter command. Let's execute one more time. Stop. Car is already stopped because initially it is a stop condition. First we need to start. Car started. Then stop. Now it is stopped. Right? Again, if you type stop, it shows car is already in stop state. It is already stopped. Then you can type quit. So you move out from the code. The execution break. Immediately the execution of the program break.